Ramakrishna ji is going to speak about his coming to Meher Baba, and also about must what Baba did in the city of Hyderabad, and also the Manunash, the annihilation of mind, that kind of work that Baba did while he was in Hyderabad. So those are the topics that he would be speaking on. I mean, we are not limited to that. So he is a fond of information about Baba and great love for him. So he has a whole lot to share, but let me just say a few words about him, and then we can continue to move on. So you all may have read this short description of his information on the, what do you call, Zoom website or calendar. But here it is. Sri Ramakrishna ji, he comes from Hyderabad, and he's one of the key players in the establishment of Hyderabad Jubilee Hills Center. It's a beautiful center there. And he serves as a president of 200 centers all over southern India. And he has two wonderful children, really beautiful ones. And you can see one here sitting along with him, his daughter by name Meher Preeti. And they have wonderful grandkids, and hopefully we'll see a picture of theirs as well. And the whole family of theirs is dedicated to Meher Baba. And he is very fortunate to have spent about 40 years in the service of Baba. And he has met a whole lot of mandali while they were in Meherabad, and obviously gathered a whole lot of information and experience and about Baba's love from them. And he's extremely proficient in discourses, God speaks, and also Bhagawadgita, of which he's a great exponent. And he also has several opportunities. What he does basically is he leads a lot of groups to various places in India and helps them to know more about Baba, and also is an instrument in spreading Baba's messages and his love. And so I thought I'll just share a couple of instances which actually speak about him. I had an opportunity to be with him when we were visiting Dehradun, and and where Baba gave his the highest of the high message. And I had a wonderful chance to go to that place with him. And he is such a person who helps everybody to know about more about Baba. And I was wandering around listlessly, and then suddenly he comes and says, "Well, you know about this place? This is where Baba gave the highest of the high message." And similarly, he did that at all interesting place in Dehradun. So he takes that time for everybody. And I was there for the first time. So he recognized that and then helped me out. And my thanks to him for that. Here's where I thought I'm reminded of the message that Jeff Woolworton often quotes. He says, "There is something loving you can do every moment." And this is what he does so beautifully. And, and one last thing, there's a word that goes in Hyderabad. Don't call him at his home number, for he's never there, because he's always roaming around all over India, talking about Baba, sharing his love and spreading his message. And Baba gave him that gift. And so with that said, I thought I'll hand it over to Ramakrishnaiah ji and Meher Preeti for to share their experiences. Jai Baba. So, and one last thing, as we just said, the questions, if you have any, we can handle them at the end of the session, but nothing prevents you from raising your hand in between. So your name will be called as in the talk is pretty much at the end. And that's how it is. And you have the instructions for raising your hand right here in the chat box. So please look them up, and then you can do so. Jai Baba. Over to you, Ramakrishna ji. Jai Baba.
Thank you, Prakash. You have been instrumental in bringing me face to face to all our Baba lovers and his family, loving family. So you are the instrumental, I know. So we start. I thank you, and also because we were meeting every Sunday, so that made you to introduce me to this Baba's group also. So I am happy, and also I thank you. We will start with recitation of Baba's 7 names, uh, as we do in Denver. Denver also we have a good group. Every alternate Saturday, my daughter only, she organizes that group meet. So we will start as usual we do with chanting of Baba's names as Baba gave it to the earlier mandali in earlier days in Meherabad. Okay. Avatar Meher Baba ki jai.
Hari Paramatma Allahur Mas God Yazdanhu. 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 Hari Paramatma Allahur Mas God Yazdanhu.
Avatar Meher Baba ki jai. I will start as told by Prakash ji. I will start with introducing myself, and then how I was drawn to Baba's fold by his grace. And then I will continue Baba's work in Hyderabad. Especially 2 occasions are there, one for Mast Contact and second for Manonash work after New Life. So in between, we will have a 10 minutes break, and my daughter, she will sing 1 or 2 bhajans. And at the end, I will stop 15 minutes before, and if any exchange or anything, we will go for that. So now I feel very happy and fortunate to be speaking with our loving group about the beloved. What can I speak? There is nothing that I can speak. It's only about our divine beloved and his game, his divine game on this planet Earth, which he does every age. So this, as far as I am concerned, I do not consider myself as a speaker, but Baba gave me an opportunity to read his books, and also I wrote one Baba's life in Telugu, and that was well received by all our lovers, and it has been printed 5 times, each time 3,000 copies. So that was widely circulated and widely received. We translated Discourses. I translated other small books also, Life at its Best, and also Real Treasure of Rustum Palatism. And mainly I when I was in US, I translated Francis Brabazon's Stay with God into poetic verses. So that was a very nice time for me to remember our beloved. And from him, I quote what he says: only a perfect master can speak a book. Book about whom? About our beloved. He says, only perfect master alone can speak a book. And saintship is the least qualification to sing of you. Francis says, saintship is the least qualification, he says, to sing of you, because of your infinity, because you are the ancient one, the highest of the high. Who can sing about you? Who can speak about you? Francis says, it is the least, saintship is the least qualification to sing of you, although a profound scholarship is sufficient for the assembling of mere facts. He says very finely. So a scholar in the language, a scholar about something, he can only, what he says, assembling the facts. He can only assemble the fact, but he cannot convey the true true work of our beloved. It is impossible also. And he says, but I have neither devotion nor learning for this task, he says, very humbly, with humility, he says. But when he says that, I am nowhere either to write about him or either to speak about him. I remember, you might be knowing about him, Dr. G.S.N. Murthy. He was a very good orator. He used to speak for hours together eloquently. And Baba also named him as his Vivekananda. So whenever he used to speak, he used to start with a verse in Sanskrit. Mukam karoti vachalam panghum langayate girim yat krupatamaham vande paramananda meheram. That was originally Madhavam, but he changed it to his beloved's name as Meheram. So with your grace, if Baba's grace is there, a dumb man can speak, a lame man can climb the hills. So I am going to speak only because of his grace and because he used me as an instrument in his work. So that is what I feel. So when I am speaking, there is nothing that no qualification or no quality in me that makes me speak, but it is the grace of our beloved, divine beloved Avatar Meher Baba that makes me to speak before you. So I was born in a Hindu Orthodox family, but it was my fortune that my parents were devoted to God. And from the childhood, I inherited that quality from my parents. And in childhood, I was spending less time in playing with other children, but I used to spend much time in the temple, which was nearby my house, and also in places where recitation of God's name, singing of bhajans used to go on. I was there, I was found there. And by the age of around 10, because of our family background and my parents' devotion, I started reading Ramayana, the epic story of Lord Rama, and Bhagavat, Lord Krishna, and also Gita. At the age of 10, I think I was having by heart 3 chapters of Gita. So I used to say, and our elders, they used to call me, oh, Paramahamsa. We all know that Baba also used to refer, and he also went there, Dakshineshwar in Calcutta. where Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, he was one of the perfect masters of that age. So they, with love and affection, they used to call me like that. So with that background, I completed my childhood and education. I was employed and also married in early age. At the age of 18, I was married, and I was, because of a large family, I had 5 younger brothers and 3 sisters. So I wanted to share the burden of my father. So I joined a job at the age of 18. And by then, I was not knowing anything about Meher Baba. So 2.5 years were spent in that job. And suddenly, there was a retrenchment, and I was terminated from that job. I wrote an article also that was published in 101 Tales of so that under that title, Loss is Gain. I was really a little bit sad and also worried about losing of my job, because I was helping my father in his burden, to share his burden. But when I was relieved of that job, 6 months, that was 1968. 8th May 1968, I was relieved of that job. And from May till November, 6 months, that was the period during which Baba was in strict seclusion, and Baba was extending his seclusion month after month. So that was the period. And immediately after having been relieved, I was alone in the house, laying on the bed, and I was repeating the name of Lord Ram continuously for 2 days. I had fever, no food. For 2 days, I was repeating the name of Lord and thinking that how fortunate they were when you were on this earth and they had your darshan and savas, not knowing that the same Lord Ram was now there in the form of Meher Baba. But this longing and a sort of pain and suffering in my heart, that made me, I never went for any other job. I went home. For 6 months, daily morning I used to wake up early, have a bath and go to temple and sit there in the worship. And I don't know how many tears have flown out of my eyes. There was this sadness and this feeling that I lost job was there, but more than that, longing for the darshan of the Lord, that was there in my heart. And then 6 months period I spent while Baba was in strict seclusion and was in his final year of seclusion, and that 1968. And in October, Baba said, my work is over. 100% my work is complete. And then after 2 months, I get a job in a place called Adilabad. I joined there. And for my sake, I think that office was wound up in 3 months, and then it was merged with another office in a place called Nizamabad. In Adilabad, there was no Baba Center. I did not hear, but few days before I went to Nizamabad, a friend of mine, he has shown me a book, a small book of bhajans, and said he is Meher Baba. My brother is very much devoted to Meher Baba. That means 15 days before Baba dropped his body, I heard his name. After this long period of some longing for the Lord's darshan. So I went to Nizamabad, and because this person was the only person I knew, I went to him, and he has shown me a house. By the side of his house, I joined there, and right in front of my house, the Baba Center was there. Brother R.S.N. Murthy, an ardent Baba lover. He was there in his house. Baba meetings were held, and I was right in front of that house. And a month after I joined, I saw about 200 people, 200 to 300 people there saying Jai Baba, and embracing each other. It was a very strange thing for me. I thought, who is this Baba? Because I heard Baba's name, but I was not very much concerned about it and did not take it seriously. So then when I inquired the person who has helped me in finding that house, so his name was Kalyan Rao Joshi, and he says, yes, we are all going for darshan of Meher Baba. Meher Baba, yes. He dropped his body on 31st January 1969, and they were going for darshan in Pune. That was in the month of May. As per Baba's instructions and circular, they were going for darshan in 4 buses to Pune. That was the first thing I have seen and mingled with Baba lovers. And then gradually their Suryanamurti's company, and I started participating in gatherings, bhajans, and singing behind all the people. And then there were 2 Sahwas programs, and many people came from all over the country, India, and they were wonderful. Madhusudan, he came, he sang. Adike Irani, Baba's secretary and disciple, he came, he spoke. So that made an impression on my mind. And soon after that, Suryanamurti asked me, because I was young, to help him in this. And immediately they acquired a place to construct Baba's center. And I was so fortunate, even before having faith in Baba and his divinity, I was blessed with opportunity to serve in his cause. So I was called, and there was another person who is now secretary of Nizamabad Avatar Meher Baba Center, Mr. Janardhan. We were young people among the group. We were the youngest. So Suryanamurti usually used to ask us to help in that construction work daily, because it was nearby. Daily, morning before going to office, evening after coming from office, we used to participate in that, get the material, get the labor, and tell him what to be done till evening. And then evening we used to come, and we also used to cure. That was the cement concrete work was to be cured. So that gave me an opportunity. And during this period, Suryanamurti gave me many books to read. And after, while this construction was going on, first Amar Tithi came, 1970. And with this preparation, we went for first Amar Tithi. And when we bowed down at Baba's Samadhi, I think with this preparation, a strong feeling and a strong faith and love for Baba was awakened in our heart, and we were fortunate. And I do not go into details about all these things, but then that was the occasion. I was totally convinced that during the last 6 months period, when I was in my home, I used to sit in temple and shed tears for the darshan of the Lord. That was in this way he has fulfilled my desire. And though I have not seen before he dropped his body, but sometimes whenever people ask me, I get some feeling that, yes, certainly I have seen, not with this coat, with this body, but the previous one, because I was born in 1947, and by then Baba has done tremendous work. Millions of people have seen and contacted Baba, during his world tours and during his intensive mast work and intensive traveling throughout country, because Baba bowed down to each one who wore this saffron dress, who was not at all spiritually inclined, but adopted so-called the profession of a saint. To all of them, Baba bowed down, and I feel that I may be one among those who has seen Baba somewhere, in some forum. So this fortune was there, and I feel that he is the divine fisherman throwing net for his chosen ones. And I think undoubtedly in this that Baba has spread his net, and had I not lost my job there, perhaps I don't know would have I heard about Baba or not. And my losing job, 6 months spending in seclusion like thing, only thinking of God and only reading Ramayana and Gita, that Baba has thrown his net. And I joined in another office in another district, but that was wound up and merged into this office where a Baba center was there, and where an ardent man to be in his company, Surnana Murthy. I can say one thing. He always used to tell me, do you know why camphor is burnt in Hindu traditional way of worship? At the end, they lit the camphor and wave it. Do you know the meaning? He said, no. And then he said, because even if you burn a lamp or anything, something remains. But when you burn camphor, nothing remains. It totally gets burnt. So your love for Baba must be such that it should burn all your limitations, all your temporal things, your desires and bindings for the temporal things, so that you will become eligible to merge in the infinity. That was his answer, and he was really very emotional, not only emotional, but his company was a boon for me. So like that, then I was transferred to Hyderabad, and one thing I tell about Surnana Murthy, how emotional and how strong in Baba's faith he was. One day he was going on road. He sees a person coming in the opposite direction, and that was 1965 darshan. So he was preparing to go for that, and when he sees that stranger, he didn't knew him, a stranger, and somehow his intuition forced him, and he goes to that strange person and says, have you seen God? Then that man was startled, and he says, seeing God? Then he says, yes, I am going to see God. Do you want to come to see God? So that was his force of speaking also. So then that man, but somehow he was a businessman, purchasing and selling the flooring slabs. So he had a lot of people who were to give him money, debtors, but he was not able to collect, and he was worried in some way. When this man said, do you want to come to see God along with me? Then he said, okay, give me some time. And Murthy gave him address, and he went, and when he, the long debts which he was not able to collect on that day, those 2-3 debts were collected. So he, somehow there was some inclination in him also, because of that person's invitation that I should go with him and see God. So my work is done very easily, and he went and met him. He went there, went to Pune and had Baba's darshan. So he always used to say, had I just hesitated on that day, I would have missed it. That was the stature of Surnana Murti. So then I came to Hyderabad. Hyderabad also, we had center, the grandfather of Prakash, N.S. Prakash Rao, and S.D. Lalit, myself, we were three. Before that, Swamiji was there, Meher Vihar was there, and a lot of programs, Savas programs and activities were going on in Hyderabad. So N.S. Prakash Rao, he started a center in his house, and we were with him. We registered a center in 1980, and then Jubilee Hills Center started in 1982. That was also because of this RSN Murti of Nizamabad. One Kavuri Kutumbarao, he was a real estate man, and when one lecturer, Kasi Reddy, he offered his plot near that Jubilee Hills Center now for construction of Baba's center. Surnanamurti Kasi Reddy came, and Kavuri Kutumbarao was approached, and it happened. It is a long story, but somehow he was impressed. Baba turned his key, and an atheist, he says, I never went any temple, I never worship, I have no belief in God, but he believed in service to others, service to humanity. So Baba said that is the real quality for loving God. Service to your fellow beings is the real approach. So he was somehow impressed, and he gave that place where Avatar Meher Baba Jubilee Hills Center is constructed. Likewise, we were in Hyderabad. I was involved, and I became one of the group to work for Baba, organize programs. My entire education, because I joined job early, was in the evening college. During that period, my office work was also very heavy work. So I used to go to college, then have attendance there. Then we had everyday bhajan in Hyderabad. During 1980s, we had groups, Monday group, Tuesday group, Wednesday group. Likewise, Prakash's grandfather, N.S. Prakash Rao, and myself, S.D. Lalit, we were mainly, there was a very big group, but we were mainly three. We used to go by our bicycles throughout city of Hyderabad, and we were actively involved in Baba's programs, and we received love of all Baba lovers in city. And that Jubilee Hills Center was also constructed over a period of 4 years in 1986. 82 also, Aloba came from Meherabad. He has taken that document of gift deed of the plot, and then 5,000 check from Kutumbrao, and construction was over. 86, 14th November, it was inaugurated. So with this introduction, I had many opportunities also in other places of Andhra to spread his name, that I will come later whenever it is possible. But now about Hyderabad, I choose these two things to say. One is must work, second is Manonash, what Baba did in Hyderabad. Hyderabad, Baba said, I like Hyderabad best. It is a very great place, both spiritually and materially. Its spiritual importance stems from ages past. This Baba said in 1951, before Manonash work, when he came to Hyderabad, he said, I like Hyderabad best. It is a very great place, both spiritually and materially. Its spiritual importance stems from ages past. So its importance also, Baba said, from ages past. And we have such a story of one lover of God, Ramadas, Bhakta Ramadas. He built a temple in Bhadrachalam, and because of him, the King Tanisha then was made to turn towards God, and he was impressed so much that he gave not only to that temple, but to many temples, many purposes relating to God. He gave his lands and also grants for that. So I think perhaps that may be the reason why Baba said the spiritual importance stems from ages past. That was during 16th, 17th century, what I told about this Ramadas and the ruler Tanisha. So Baba came many times, about 12 times to Hyderabad. He spent 376 days. Though he was going and coming throughout the country from Hyderabad, but he made his headquarters in Hyderabad during two occasions. One is must work in 1945, March 1945 to September 1945, and second for Manonash, and another 6 months period. Baba was in Hyderabad from May 27th May 51 to 24th October 1951. He was in Hyderabad, and after Baba left by foot, mandali were there for another 1 month, and by the time Baba reached Meherazad, the mandali also were asked to go over there. So Baba visits, three visits. One is blue bus. First, Baba came in blue bus with his Western lovers, mainly women lovers, and Erich and Elizabeth Patterson, they drove the bus, and he stayed in Hyderabad, and the ex-rulers, Maulali and Raja Dharamkaran, they came, they had Baba's darshan, and they were helpful, and they told Baba, whatever help you want, we give. During that period, Baba searched for a place. Elizabeth wrote in her experience that Baba has seen many places for establishing a center, not only in Hyderabad, in Jabalpur, and ultimately Baba selected the place near Bangalore, Bairamangala, where he started construction also. That was in 1939, the starting of the World War, Second World War. Baba started the work of Universal Spiritual Center. Later it was revived by Baba lovers, but Baba started it and then he abandoned it later. So here, during Blue Bus tours in 1938 December, Baba visited Hyderabad and looked for a spot. He liked one spot, and Elizabeth said that spot, it had for anything, wherever, any place for his stay, for his seclusion, which Baba selected. He wanted some spiritual background, some spiritual importance of that place, so that his work, in some way or other, we don't know, we cannot even imagine, but he knew that that place suited for his work. Baba also said about Kashmir, he said that here the balance, the power of God and illusion balance here, and there is no such place as ideal as this in the world. Baba said. That is the reason why Baba went 5 times to Kashmir also. So here Baba thought of, he had a plan also drawn for the center, but he abandoned that plan and went from Hyderabad to Jabalpur. The second trip in 1945, 6 months stay, Baba, because during that period, 1940s, Baba was extensively touring and doing his mast work. We know who is the mast. Mast is not a madman. He is God intoxicated man. A mast is a God intoxicated man. And Baba said, I like a company of children and mast. Baba liked these two. So 1945, Baba wanted to stay there in Hyderabad, and he wanted a house, a bungalow for his stay. He asked Dr. William Donkin was working then in Secunderabad, and he was asked to search buildings and tell him. But Baba himself went to Hyderabad in February 45. He stayed for 5 days in Rock Castle Hotel, and he saw the buildings searched by William Donkin, but Baba didn't like. And one new building which was under construction and nearing completion in Banjara Hills near Rock Castle Hotel where Baba stayed. That was, it had a lawn, it has swimming pool also. So Baba liked that and asked Pendu to approach the owner and get an agreement. So Pendu went there, and somehow the owner, in fact, constructed the building for his own use. But what may be the reasons, he agreed to lease it out, let it out to Baba for 6 months. So agreement was done. When Pendu brought the agreement in the night, a funny incident occurred. Baba was staying in the hotel. It was night past 10. So agreement was written in Urdu. So Baba asked Pendu, come on, read out the agreement. I want to hear what is written in that. So Pendu says, Baba, I know Urdu, but I can't read. And Baba said, look for somebody who can read it. See, Baba's working, we don't know. But always, whenever Baba wants something which was not necessary for him, but that has a purpose, either to give his darshan to a one whom perhaps he may not be knowing that he is worth of having God's darshan. Like one instance I told about that businessman whom R.S.N. Murthy has taken for Baba's darshan. So here, Pendu was asked by Baba to find someone who can read Urdu document. He went around the hotel. It was almost closed. But in one room, there were 4 persons drinking, and they were sitting, chatting. As soon as among them, there was an old man, a very jovial person. He was wearing a sherwani and this thing, and then he immediately on seeing Pendu, he says, oh, come on, my dear friend, what do you want? Do you want any help? I am here to serve you. He came out, and then Pendu said, we want one to read out for my elder brother to read on this agreement. So he was taken to Baba, and as soon as he seen Baba, he just shook hand with Baba with such a force that Baba was also very pleased to meet him. And then he was asked to read the agreement, lease agreement. And in Urdu, he was reading in a very artistic manner, in flourish language. Some people speak. He was reading in such a manner. Baba was enjoying his reading, and Baba asked him to read again and again 3 times. And he was blessed to be in the company of Baba, to shake hand with him. And we don't know how fortunate he was, and perhaps only to give him his darshan and his touch, Baba might have asked Pendu to read that agreement, and so that happened, and after that Baba went back, and he came, and with mandali they all came, and then during his stay from March 9th to 6th September 1945, Baba made intensive mast contacts. Then there was Sayyid Moinuddin, a sixth plane mast. Baba said he is not in this photo. This photo, Mastani Mai, when Baba came during Blue Bus tours, he was the person, Baba said, chargeman of Hyderabad. So she was contacted indirectly by Baba. We see there in the photo. So the second one is Mama Mast, but we could not find that photo of Sayyid Moinuddin. When Baba came in 1945, Sayyid Moinuddin was the Mast. Baba said, chargeman of Hyderabad. He was a Jalali type of Mast. He was a short man, but he used to sweep the roads with his hand. And then he liked barfi and smoking cigarettes. When Baba sent Baidul to him, he was very irritant, and then he was asking, don't come to me, I will beat you. Then Baidul somehow managed. He purchased his favorite sweet barfi and also cigarette packets. And then somehow he was able to get to him, approach him, and then arranged Baba's contact, and Baba contacted him. Baba said he is the chargeman of Hyderabad. And Baba also, we know Baba had 5 favorite mosques. One, Muhammad Mast, who was in Meherabad, we know. Second one, Ali Shah in Ahmednagar. Chacha Baba Ajmer, Chetty Baba Nagapatnam in Madras, Tamil Nadu, and Karim Baba of Calcutta. But Ali Shah Baba liked very much, and he took him to many places for his work. Here in Hyderabad also, Ali Shah was brought thrice to be with him, and he kept him for some days, and he worked with Ali Shah. Then Ali Shah, when Baba was working with Ali Shah, Allied troops pushing through German territory, several Nazi camps were liberated. World knew full extent of the horrors of genocide in camp. 6 million Jews exterminated. Baba, this was 45, but in 1940 only Baba said Mussolini will be killed and Hitler will commit suicide. Baba said 5 years before only, and while contacting Ali Shah in Hyderabad, this happened, and Mussolini in April 45, Mussolini was killed and hanged in Milan, and also Hitler committed suicide on 1st May. While Baba was contacting Mas and doing his work with Mas in Hyderabad, this happened, the Second World War. Seeing all these events, looking all these events and Baba's work with the Mas, Mandali, and also Baba's followers and lovers all over, they thought that Baba's must work was only to control and direct the, to bring to an end the Second World War. Then Baba said what about this. Baba gave that message, and he said, Baba indicated that his intensive work with the Mas during these years was connected with overseeing the war. It was a fact that it was overseeing the war, but it would be foolish to presuppose that this was all that Baba was doing. Baba said, this is not only the controlling and overseeing war is not the only sole purpose for which I am contracting mass and I am doing so much of work with mass. Baba says, no, it would be foolish to presuppose that this was all that Baba was doing. The avatar's work is universal by nature and unimaginable in scope. The axiom of killing two birds with one stone is applicable to the avatar, as we have this proverb, two birds in one shot. The axiom, Baba says, killing two birds with one stone is applicable to the avatar, not in the same sense. Baba says, when multiplied ad infinitum, as one action done by him affects millions of others in creation. No doubt Baba's movements coincided with developments in the war, but moreover, his fast journeys and working with the mass all had unseen and unknown consequences, primarily dealing with the raising the consciousness of humanity and turning the world toward God. Baba used to say, enough has been done to make man food-minded. Now it is time that he should be made God-minded. So Baba says, his work with the mass, his universal work in seclusion, all these things, these were for the entire creation. And Baba said, it is unforeseen, unknown work Baba was doing only to raise the consciousness of humanity and turning the world toward God. The world is now enmeshed and caught in the allurements of the world and worldly attractions. And Baba said, they have to be made God-minded. Their minds have to be turned towards God. That is the reason why first Baba did mast work and his mission, his work, Baba says, the raising of consciousness and turning the world towards God. And second is, it's a practical thing, Manonash. The Baba turned their minds through Manonash work for this purpose. So Baba said, no doubt it was done for overseeing the world war, but it was not the sole purpose, Baba said, and Baba's work was for raising the consciousness of humanity and turning the world towards God. That was his work, Baba said. So here in Hyderabad, when Baba was there, he went around the entire South India, and he also went for a meeting in Meherabad, during which Irish's marriage was done, Irish and Irish sister's marriage was done, and Baba also called some people for darshan on 24th May in Meherabad. That also Baba did. And then he, while in Hyderabad, I said 2 or 3 must contacts. One thing, Baba, why Baba used to contact must means, Baba used to put them on right path. They were stuck on the path in the heavens, and then they were to be progressed on the path, pushed on the path. And second thing, Baba made use of them for his universal work. They made them to share Baba's work. It so happened while in Hyderabad, Baba went to one place called Warangal. There was one mast, Brahmachari mast. And he was also short man. He used to sit on a road, collect all the rubbish. And then when Baidul was sent to him for arranging Baba's contact, the Brahmachari, he said, don't cross the border, don't enter my area, otherwise I will beat you with stones. He was very furious. So Baidul was a bit scared. So he came back and told Baba, Baba is not cooperative, because he was a Jalali mast. Then Baba sent Kaka Baria to ask him, why are you non-cooperative? Why don't you, we came only to meet you, why don't you cooperate? Baba sent Kaka Baria. Kaka Baria went to tell him, and he also treated him similarly. He said, don't enter my area, I will kill you, I will beat you. Then he came back and Baba said, go again and give him a lecture. Why he is so lazy? Why he doesn't want to work? Why he doesn't want to take some burden? Then when he went, that must said, oh, did you not find anybody else to throw your burden on them? I neither receive nor give anything to anybody, he shouted. And as directed by Baba, he gave that lecture. As long as he was speaking, the must kept silent. And then he said, no, I don't receive anything, I don't give anything, go away. And when he came, Baba laughed and said, my work is over. So his contact, either direct or indirect, that shows that must said, is there, did you not find anybody to throw your burden on them? That means Baba used all these musts to share his burden of universal work and to be shareholders in that universal work. That was the thing Baba did. And another one incident which was most significant, Baba went to Chennai. In Chennai, Baba was contacting must, and on the road, they saw one must. And Muhammad Mastan, he was there, Anderson Street. Baidul spotted the must, and Baba Iruch was also there with Baba. And Baba said, I have to contact him immediately. Then find a place. When Iruch saw there was only a bank by the side of the place where the must was sitting. And see how wonderful it is. Iruch goes inside the bank and asks the manager, my brother, elder brother is here. Just now he has seen a long-awaited friend. You want to contact him for some time. Why don't you give some space in your bank? Then manager, Iruch says, I don't know whether it was proper to ask that. When bank, it was working hour. Bank, all the people were working in the bank. And then Iruch asked the manager. Then manager, without saying anything, he said, oh, is that so? Okay. Then he stood up and came out. And he says, Iruch said to him, not only you, but all the staff, leaving all the instruments, checks, cash on their tables and their counters, they were asked to come. Iruch said, my brother doesn't want anything. He wants to contact the friend alone. So you are ask all your staff also to come out. And you see how wonderful the manager, not only he came out, he asked all the people to come out. They went out. And how Baba's work for must work, how things will be done. And Iruch was also wonderstruck how the manager, without saying anything, he came out and the staff came out. Baba and Mast went in and sat in the strong room, and Baba contacted the Mast, and they don't know how much time that Baba was there inside. And when Baba came out, Iruch said, now you can go. And they came, and manager, when he came back and sat in his chair, then he came to senses. What have I done? I would have lost my job. What happened to my senses? What happened to my mind? How it happened like that? So it is so wonderful that Baba's work will be in such a way. So now I will take a gap of 10 minutes. My daughter will sing a song, a Bahuji's song, that is Kuch Kahna Hai To Kahna Ho To Prem Ki Baatein Kiya Karo. If anything is to be talked about. If anything is to be told, it must be only about love. Prem ki baat hai. Mastu bano priyatam ke karan, because we have been speaking about mast. Mastu bano priyatam ke karan prem sudharas piya karo. Must they drink the intoxication of their beloved and become God intoxicated. So Bhauji also suggests love means you have to drink his love and then become intoxicated in his love. That song my daughter will sing, and then after 10 minutes we will continue again.
Jai Baba. अवतार मेहर बाबा की जय। कुछ कहना है तो कहना हो तो प्रेम की बातें किया करो, प्रेम ही सार है, प्रेम ही सार है। कुछ कहना है तो कहना हो तो प्रेम की बातें किया करो, प्रेम ही सार है, प्रेम ही सार है। मस्त बनो प्रियतम के कारण, मस्त बनो प्रियतम के कारण, प्रेम सुधा रस पिया करो, प्रेम सुधा रस पिया करो। कबाब दिल का बना के खाओ, कबाब दिल का बना के खाओ, खून जिगर का पिया करो। कुछ कहना है तो कहना हो तो प्रेम की बातें किया करो, प्रेम ही सार है, प्रेम ही सार है। ऐसा मरना मरो कि जिससे मरने पर भी जिया करो, ऐसा मरना मरो कि जिससे मरने पर भी जिया करो। अपने खातिर मरा करो तुम, अपने खातिर मरा करो तुम, पर के खातिर जिया करो। कुछ कहना है तो कहना हो तो प्रेम की बातें किया करो, प्रेम ही सार है, प्रेम ही सार है। सतगुरु को सब अपना देकर उससे सब कुछ लिया करो, सतगुरु को सब अपना देकर उससे सब कुछ लिया करो। भाव कहे कुछ कहना है, कुछ कहना है तो कहना हो तो प्रेम की बातें किया करो, प्रेम ही सार है, प्रेम ही सार है, प्रेम ही सार है, प्रेम ही सार है। Avatar Meher Baba ki jai. I'll also share another song written by Bhauji. भजो रे मेहर नाम सुख धाम, भजो रे मेहर नाम सुख धाम। भव सागर से तरता है वो, भव सागर से तरता है वो, भजता है यह नाम, भजता है यह नाम, मेहर नाम सुख धाम। भजो रे मेहर नाम सुख धाम। छाया है जो हर में दूजा, छाया है जो हर में दूजा, उसे हटाना ही है पूजा, उसे हटाना ही है पूजा। भजने से नित नाम प्रभु का, भजने से नित नाम प्रभु का, हटता है बेकार, हटता है बेकार। मेहर नाम सुख धाम, भजो रे मेहर नाम सुख धाम। अंत समय में याद प्रभु का, अंत समय में याद प्रभु का, जो आ जाए नाम, जो आ जाए नाम, भाव मिलता धाम प्रभु का, भाव मिलता धाम प्रभु का। जहाँ चल आराम, जहाँ चल आराम, मेहर नाम सुख धाम। भजो रे मेहर नाम सुख धाम। भव सागर से तरता है वो, भव सागर से तरता है वो, भजता है यह नाम, भजता है यह नाम, मेहर नाम सुख धाम। भजो रे मेहर नाम सुख धाम। अवतार मेहर बाबा की जय।
So, must work. I will tell two must contacts more, and then two humorous incidents which happened during this Baba stay in Hyderabad for this must work. And when Baba was contacting must here, the events in world war also were converging in the same connectable manner. On 6th August 1945, Baba contacted a Muslim by name Nuruddin, and in a Tanga, Baba was going on the roads of Banjara Hills and Jubilee Hills with this mosque, and mandali followed in the next auto behind Baba's auto, behind Baba's Tanga, horse-driven carriage. Irich and Baidulu were there, and there was another Rajaya mosque, and he used to appear very strange. He used to carry all rubbish bundles, and Baba, he presented to Baba a bundle of broken pieces of this crockery, And when that was count, it was 70. Very strangely, it was 70. And Baba contacted 70 mosques in Hyderabad. And there were in no other place the mosques were like this, because Baba said, I like Hyderabad. This may be one of the reasons that Hyderabad is a place for many mosques. And Baba hired a hall near Hyderabad for mosque work also. Then on 6th August, when Baba was going on, this bombing of Hiroshima was done while Baba was here spending time with Nuruddin Mast in a Tanga. So likewise on 9th also, Baba was contacting Mast, Sayyid Moinuddin, the chargeman, and then Nagasaki. This bombing was done while Baba was in Hyderabad contacting Mast. And as Baba's work was over with the conclusion of the Second World War, Japan also surrendered unconditionally, and then there was an agreement, and so Baba completed his work and returned to Pune on 6th September 1945 after the Second World War ended. But during these mosque contacts, Baba contacted a mosque near Jogipet, that is a place, a 6th plane mosque. He used to go, he was doing business in, he was a cloth merchant, doing business in cloth. He used to put a bundle of these cloths while starting from the village. After he crossed the village and he was walking alone, that bundle used to raise, and like Tajuddin Baba, when a gamela was kept on his head, it used to go along with him while he was walking. It used to go in the air. Likewise, this bundle used to go along with him in the air without touching his head. So that must Qibla Qadri Baba contacted, and during this contact, what happened during those days, there was a big rumor that Pathans have come who indulged in thefts in those areas. So when Baidul was seen by the villagers, they said, oh, he looks like a Pathan and he must be a bandit. They complained to the police. Police came to arrest Baidul. But Irich went to the police station, spoke to the policeman, and then got him released, and the arrest was averted. So there was a 7th plane Majub near Tumkur, and Baba contacted him twice. Baba went there, went by bus, then got down, and 9 miles were to be journeyed by foot. Baba walked, and the atmosphere was cool, it was raining. Baba was walking. In between there was a small rivulet, knee-deep water was there. While Baba crossed, and then Baba complained that there was pain in his chest and he was sweating profusely while it was raining. So when Baba went there and he contacted that 7th plane Majub, Ishwar Daru, Tilguru Swami, he was called. So when Baba met him, they both embraced. Bhauji writes, ocean meeting the ocean. It was a wonderful scene. And immediately Baba felt so happy, so relieved that the chest pain was gone, sweating was gone, and he was very happy, walked very happily in return, and they came back to Hyderabad. So during that stay in Hyderabad, 2 humorous incidents happened. One was there was one person, C.S. Kavade. C.S. Kavade, he met Baba in 1942 and asked Baba, I am not interested in the world and worldly affairs, worldly pleasures. I want to stay with you. And Baba said, okay, I will call you. Now go away, but I will call you when time comes. And year in 1945, when Baba was in Hyderabad, he was asked to come and stay with Baba. He came and he was staying with Baba. And he was given watch duty also for 2 hours. He used to be on watch at Baba's room. And then because he told Baba in 1942 itself that Baba, I'm not interested in the world and worldly pleasures. One day what happened, Baba asked for this Kavade. Then Baidul searched and came and told Baba, Baba, he's not available. He might have gone out because his duty is over. Oh, is that? Bring one knife. Baba said suddenly, bring one knife, we will castrate. Means the Muslims of Sunni cult, they perform circumcision of the penis of small boys when they are born. So they are called Sunnis because of this tradition of Sunnat. They call it Sunnat, Katna or circumcision. So Baba suddenly said, we will perform to him this Katna, bring a knife. Baidul did not understand what was this, why this was said and why Baba told that. So what happened after he returned, when inquired, he told that he went for a walk on the road, and that was the area where princess used to live, very big bungalows and princess. When he was walking, he saw a beautiful girl riding on a horse. She was a Muslim perhaps belonging to some royal family, and she was exceptionally beautiful riding on a horse. And then a thought came to his mind, this C.S. Kavade. He thought, oh, what if I become a Muslim, if I am able to marry this girl? What if I become a Muslim? That becoming Muslim, Baba showed there that being a knife, we will perform Katna, we will perform circumcision to that man. So that thought, when this thought came to his mind somewhere else on the road, seeing a beautiful girl, Baba at this, where Baba was staying in the bungalow, Baba says, bring a knife, we will perform circumcision, we will perform Katna. So then they understood and said, oh, Baba is omniscient, because he said that he was not interested in worldly things. But here, after seeing a beautiful girl, he even came to a decision that even if he becomes a Muslim to marry her. So that was the one humorous incident. Second humorous incident was Rano Gili. She was to get a new specs. She was asked, and Don took her to the doctor. While coming, Don purchased a toffee box, and then the toffee box was brought, and without informing Baba, they distributed toffees to some people in the mandali. And Baba asked, who brought it? Don has brought it. Oh, Don has brought the toffees, and without telling me, without giving me, he has distributed. So then he said, yes. Then when Nilu became, Nilu was also there, and Baba asked all to collect that and to bring the box to him. And there Nilu, Dr. Nilu was also there. He was very fond of sweets. And Baba said, Nilu, then Baba remembered a story about Nilu. His desire for sweets and his likelihood for having sweets. Baba remembered on that occasion. Do you know what happened to Nilu once? Then Baba himself told that story. Once Baba asked mandali, woman mandali, to put cow dung in a box, pack it very nicely, and then bring it to him. And that box was inside, cow dung was put, and it was neatly packed, and then it was given to Baba. When Nilu came, Baba said, yes, here is a very tasty sweet for you. Then he was tempted and then took it, and then immediately he torn the packing paper, and then when he sees, it was cow dung. And he said, oh, seeing his pale face, Baba told him an appropriate message. Baba will never lose any opportunity to teach a lesson to anybody. So then it was a humorous incident, but Baba gave a very memorable message to him. What was that? Remember, the whole world is like cow dung. Baba told Nilu, remember, the whole world is like a cow dung. When you realize it, your attachment to the world will pale. Like now, instead of sweets, when you found cow dung, you became so pale. So Baba says, when you realize it, your attachment to the world will be pale. When you realize that the whole world is like cow dung, you will, just as you threw away the cow dung, you will one day say goodbye to this world and its affairs. Then Baba said, like cow dung also, you should be able to throw the world. One day, say goodbye to this world and its affairs. That was the thing, that was the 1945 must work. Then Baba came in 1951 on 27th May and stayed till 24th October 1951. It was in a palace of Prince Nawab Ali Nawaz Jung in Banjara Hills. And Baba called an important meeting on 20th. Because of the time, I will make it short. To say about the work that he is going to take for the entire universe, Baba held a meeting in the bungalow where he was staying. That is the photo now on the screen you are able to see. And Baba invited people, 70 people came, and to those 70 people, Baba said, according to what I feel at the moment, these 7 days that you have spent with me are as good as having passed 700 years of lives with me. That 7 days, Baba said, how fortunate they were that they'll stay for 7 days with Baba for this work and for attending the meeting on 28, 29. So Baba said, it equals to 700 years of your lives with me. Baba has granted them, Baba has given them such a benefit of 700 lives sahwas in 7 days. And about the work also, but that Baba was going to take upon himself, he said, what is to be achieved in 4 crores, that means 40 millions of lives, is to be achieved in 4 months. Baba was to achieve it in 4 months. This Manonash work, Baba said about this work, declaration was made. Dr. Abdul Ghani read it in Urdu, Dr. Donkin in English, and Dr. Falkar in Marathi. This Manonash work, Baba termed it as God-determined step. This was termed as God-determined step. On 28th June, these were all present. And Baba said, you are all witnesses. And Baba asked all these people to fast for one day on 16th October. So this, what he has planned and what he is going to do, Baba made a declaration on 28th June before he was taking up it on 16th October 1951. About that, he gave so many alternatives, but the one which ultimately Baba adopted, it was, Baba said, about the step Manonash, Baba said, I will gain complete mental annihilation and yet be alive physically. Here, Manonash for whom? He had, Baba once said equation, mind running normal is man, mind running fast is must, mind running fast is mad, mind running slow is must, and mind totally stopped is God. For him there is no mind at all, even though all minds of all people put together constitutes his universal mind. He has no mind of his own. So why Manonash? Manonash is only for those who are connected with him, for those who are living in the world. So Baba made this declaration on that day. I will gain complete mental annihilation and yet be alive physically. That means mental annihilation, not for himself, for all the humanity, all the creation. And this will mean that I will not only attain the old life Meher Baba state, but also manifest it universally. It will also mean a super revolutionizing in the lives of everyone connected with me and even those not connected with me. That was more important. What Baba did was not only for all those who are connected with him, but even those not connected with me, and fundamentally I will be connected with each and every one, except that its effect will vary in accordance with strength of their connection with me. The strength of connection with me means the faith and love, relevant and proportionate to the degree of faith and the love they have. That means what Baba said, the strength of their connection with me. Proportionate to that, Baba says, I will be connected with each and everyone, except that its effect will vary in accordance with the strength of their connection with me. The degree of their faith decides the annihilation that he is going to do for each and every one. So for this purpose, Baba divided this work into 4 phases. One, to be in seclusion on a hill or near the sea. Initially, Baba decided to be in seclusion for 30 days, but he was in seclusion only for 8 days. You are able to see those boulders and hillock people are sitting. That is the place where Baba was there in seclusion. That is called Manonash Hill in Hyderabad, near the village called Kojaguda, 15 kilometers away from the city. Now it is merged in city and it became part of the city of Hyderabad now. So Baba, that was one thing. Then Baba was to go by foot up to Meherazad from Hyderabad, and then in Meherazad on Tembi Hill seclusion, and then this program Baba chalked out till 15th February 1952 from 16th October 1951. For that purpose, Baba asked Irich to search and find out one place where he could be in seclusion for this Manonash work. So Irich, with the help of one called Kasturi Lingaya, he was a timber merchant. And during 1980s, when we used to put a stall in exhibition Prakash grandfather, and we all put together. When we used to put a stall, we used to go to that shop and get timber, the whatever timber was necessary to erect a stall. So that man, Kasturi Lingaya, he helped in improvising them. Then there was no way. There was only steps to go up the hill. That steps were also repaired by him, improvised. And then the cave, you are able to see, there is a wall by the side, and this wall and this front entrance and a window on the rear side. This was also done by that Kasturi Lingaya. Kasturi Lingaya afterwards became, his faith developed into such a way. Once his shop was burnt to ashes, because it was all timber. It burned to ashes, and he had a Baba's photo in his shop. And when he was collecting all the ashes, he found the photo undamaged. It was there in the ashes. It was undamaged. And he had such a faith in Baba that later he suffered paralysis of one part of his body, one hand and one leg. And when his family, they forced him to go to doctor and take treatment, he said, no, Baba is my doctor, Baba is my everything. He used to put a glass full water before Baba's photo and said, Baba, this is my medicine, and used to drink. He became well after a few days, and he went in 1963, in the month of May, he went alone to Pune Guru Prasad, and he met Baba there, and Baba asked him to raise his limbs and show him that he became all right. So that was his faith, Kasturi Lingaya. He helped Iruch to find this place and also to improvise it for Baba's stay. So after that, Baba approved it, and Baba gave conditions for that. It should be on a hillock or near sea. It should be away from city, nearer to a village. There must be spiritual importance to that. So that spiritual importance here, when we go up, there is a dargah of Khaja Moinuddin dargah. It used to be without roof then. They tried to put a roof of tin sheets, but always it used to be blown away because of winds. So that was like that. And Baba, on the first day, on 16th, when Baba went there, he stayed there, and prayers were offered. For this purpose, Baba asked his lovers from Agra to prepare models of all religious symbols. In alabaster, they were made. One temple, one church, one masjid, one fire agyara, and then Buddhist temple. These were made, and they were sent from Agra, and Irish took them on 13th to put them there. And when he parked his car below the, then there was a small village, but it was all open, and there were also some paddy fields there. He stopped his car and he was going up, when suddenly he heard a sound, and when he saw back, the car was rolling back with such a speed as if somebody is airlifting it, and it even jumped over the small boulders, went back into the fields, and there it got stuck up. Irich was afraid. Oh, these symbols were there, and they were required for Baba to keep with him during the period of seclusion. And he ran, and then when he saw, the models were all intact. So only the car also was not also damaged much, but it was to his astonishment, all the symbols, these were intact. And so Baba went there on 15th. On 16th also, Baba offered prayers for the Manonash work to go on successfully. He in different, see, Baba brought these different models of different religions, main important 5 religions, and also at 5 religious places throughout India. That was Baba ordered persons to, at the same time on 16th, all were to offer prayers as instructed by Baba. It was throughout India at 5 places, and in Hyderabad 5 places, and Baba was there at this dargah offering prayers on 16th. So Meherji Karkaria was in Dwada, Keki Desai Ajmer, Vasudev Kane in Mathura, Gaya Prasad Khare Sarnath, Vishwanath Haldankar in Goa Cathedral of St. Francis Xavier, in Hyderabad Neelu Buddhist Temple, Vishnu Hindu Temple, Kaikobad Fire Temple, Dawn in a church, and selected Muslim in a mosque. So at the same time, prayers were offered throughout India, in Hyderabad, and on this Manonash cave, near Manonash cave. Baba was there for 8 days from 16th to 24th, and he went down the hill, down to the cave where Baba stayed. There was a temple. There is still, now it is also renovated, and they are doing a lot of work there. That is Ananta Padmanabha Swami temple, a Hindu temple there, and at the starting, a dargah of a Muslim saint. As Baba said, it must have the spiritual importance. So that was also there. And on 16th, Baba completed his work, and he started on foot towards Meherazad via Aurangabad. And Baba sent a word to Mehra and Woman Mandali on 24th that his work was successfully completed. So Baba started by foot, and he contacted many Mas saints on the way, and he did poor work also. Baba, at one place called Vargal, Baba bowed down to 101 families and gave them the Daiva Dakshina. But that, at that place something happened. There was rivalry between the headman and the shopkeeper who helped Irich, and they called police. Ultimately, Irich managed and involved both of them, and Baba bowed down to these 101 persons and gave his Dakshina. But what happened before starting, Irich went to the police commissioner and requested for a letter of introduction that they are going on foot, and so the police should take care so that there may not be any trouble for them in between. So when that commissioner, he went to that commissioner asked Irich to come to his home. He was going home for lunch, and then took Irich also to his house, and silently he brought a photo and put before him. I think you are going with this silent man. And that was a photo of cricket team. While Baba was studying in school, this commissioner, he was also a schoolmate, and he was in the cricket team for which Baba was there. So he shown, yes, I know him. And he gave an introductory letter, but he remembered Baba, and he has shown Irich that photo that he was a schoolmate of Baba. So they, Baba went to Aurangabad, Kuldabad, so many things, and then they went back to Meherazad. Meherazad Baba continued this. There is one incident more, of course everybody know, but we feel happy and we feel to remember it any number of times we read and remember. That will be a very interesting and very heart-touching thing. While going, before reaching Meherazad, Baba stayed 2 days in Imampur Masjid. That was old masjid, almost abandoned masjid. It served for British people as guest house also. Then when Baba was about to rest, there was some noise. He asked Irich, what was that? Please look at that. And there was a bird, and it was making that noise. Baba said, catch hold of it and throw it away. But before Irich was about to catch hold of the bird, Baba clapped and said, no, 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 what we are doing, it is against the principles of our new life. Tomorrow morning I will decide what to do. And next morning before starting, Baba asked them, Baba even took off his sadra and asked them to spit on him and also to beat with their sandals on his knee. So because they were trained in such a way to obey whatever Baba wished. So they did it. And Baba, for such a small thing, a small act of unkindness towards that bird, Baba took the punishment upon himself, and Baba suffered. And then they went to Meherazad. Baba did not go to his house, but he went directly to the hill on the in the cabin prepared by Padri. He stayed there in seclusion, but when the weather was not good, he came down. And the last ending of the this Manonash work, Baba lit Dhuni on 31st January. Baba rose early, he had a bath, and then he sat in seclusion, and then he called all mandali members to be with him. And then the name of God, different as we read in the beginning, Hari Paramatma Allah Ahuramat, God Yazdanhu, Om Parabrahma Paramatma, La ilaha illallah, God Father in heaven. These were chanted for half an hour. Baba used to be in seclusion for half an hour, and then again another name by the group selected by Baba. And evening the dhuni was lit, and Baba said, dhuni was lit, and then Baba had a slip on which he asked Irish to write, all rites and rituals and ceremonies of all religions of the world are hereby consumed in the flames. Baba wrote this because Baba always used to refer that man wanted God, but priests gave him a stone. So now, because of the rituals and ceremonies, the priests have held these human race in the clutches of this ritualistic pattern. So Baba said, in that dhuni that Baba tore it into pieces and put in the dhuni, 2 boxes of ashes were also collected and kept. Even now it is kept in Meherabad along with the articles that were gifted to Baba by Mas. These are all kept in. So Baba ultimately said on that, from now on, I free myself from external religious ceremonies that I observed during the new life and the Manonash period. So Baba also, these prayers throughout country, in Hyderabad, everywhere, he was praying because he has took on the role of an aspirant, a sadhak. So he was doing all these things. He was bowing down to everyone, even during this walking also at Kuldabad and many places. He bowed down to many people and asking them to bless that his work should be successfully completed. So Baba now says on 31st January, from now on, I free myself from external religious ceremonies that I observed during the new life and the Manonash period. You see, first he observed, then he is freeing himself. That means it follows that the entire world will also be freed from these clutches of the ceremonial worship. and to love God as he ought to be loved. So we are all fortunate that Baba has done this work for us. Jai Baba.
Jai Baba.
This is a Koti Center, which is now in the house of Prakash's grandfather and his uncles. So I refer to the Jubilee Hills Center, an atheist. He donated the land, 1 acre land, and we constructed that in an oval shape. That is the Jubilee Hills Center. Jubilee Hills interior, interior is, this is outward picture, and that inside the hall, this is the picture. Jai Baba.
Jai Baba. Ramakrishnaiah Garu. We are not really constrained by time because there is no program after. But again, I know you have talked for a long time, so feel free to share more if you can. It's up to you. So I'll leave it to you, and because you also have Meher next to you, and she has 2 little ones, and who may be demanding her time. So I'll leave it to you if you want to speak longer, or
if you want, I can. We will touch because in Hyderabad, Baba stayed for his work, universal work of Mast work and also Manonash. There was no public darshan program in Hyderabad. In 1953 and 1954, Baba went to each small village also, and he toured in Andhra twice, and he gave darshan. Thousands of thousands came and had his darshan. So if you want, we can, I can share that with some stories also. That
at least from here, I think many should be good. But again, please, you also, if you think you can share, please go ahead. That'll be great. I think definitely will enjoy.
As you want. Inko part bartara. Up to what time shall we continue?
I mean, honestly, your convenience. We have definitely another hour to go because 2 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, there is another program that begins. Till that time, we have no issues.
Okay.
So, but again, feel free. I mean, when you feel you're tired and then you want to rest or have lunch, we can stop.
Yeah. Okay. So, Baba, so she will sing one song, and then I will continue because of the time I just went in brief about this Manonash work. I will read the message of Manonash and then continue God's this Andhra tour. Okay.
Avatar Meher Baba Ki Jai. We can sing along together. This is the song my father usually sings and shares on at every bhajan. Avatar Meher Baba Ki Jai. Meher meherani padave manasa koti janmamula punya phalamu idi. Meher meherani padave manasa. Prabhu sandarshana bhagya mein kori. Prabhu sandarshana bhagya mein kori. Prabhu nirakakai paritapinchuchu. Prabhu sandarshana bhagya mein kori. Prabhu nirakakai paritapinchuchu. Ahanishamulo avedanato. Ahanishamulo ఆవేదనతో 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 పాడవే మనసా మెహర్ మెహరని పాడవే మనసా కోటి జన్మముల పుణ్య ఫలము ఇది మెహర్ మెహరని పాడవే మనసా కాలమంతయు కరగేలోగా కాలమంతయు కరగేలోగా ఆఖరి శ్వాస ఆగేలోగా కాలమంతయు కరగేలోగా ఆఖరి శ్వాస ఆగేలోగా మెహరుని దామము చేరుకొనుటకై మెహరుని దామము చేరుకొనుటకై మెహరుని దామను గట్టిగా పట్టుకో మెహరుని దామను గట్టిగా పట్టుకో మెహర్ మెహరని పాడవే మనసా కోటి జన్మముల పుణ్య ఫలము ఇది మెహర్ మెహరని పాడవే మనసా ఆధ్యాత్మికమగు సాధనలేవి ఆధ్యాత్మికమగు సాధనలేవి మెహరుని ప్రేమకు సాటి రావు ఆధ్యాత్మికమగు సాధనలేవి మెహరుని ప్రేమకు సాటి రావు మెహరుని ప్రేమను బడయగోరుచు మెహరుని ప్రేమను బడయగోరుచు అంతరంగమును చాలన చేసి అంతరంగమును చాలన చేసి మెహర్ మెహరని పాడవే మనసా కోటి జన్మముల పుణ్య ఫలము ఇది మెహర్ మెహరని పాడవే మనసా Avatar Meher Baba ki jai.
Even singing his name is also fortune of many millions of lives virtues. That is the song says. So that is bestowed on you. You are given an opportunity to remember him, to sing his name, only because of many lives, millions of lives, virtues that we have to credit. So this Manya, my granddaughter, she also wants to sing a song. Okay.
Hey Baba.
Avatar Meher Baba ki jai. जन्म की देश बाटा कैवल्य मुंदे बाटा मोक्षारम बहुमाधव जन्म चिय कुमारवृता परब्रह्म परमात्मा मेहर बाबा रूपमुदाची परब्रह्म परमात्मा मेहर बाबा रूपमुदाची ఈ సృష్టి వినాశమ సాన కాలమున బీజములు నాటి ఈ సృష్టి వినాశమ సాన కాలమున బీజములు నాటి జీజీలు జగదీశ్వరునకు జీజీలు అంజని మోక్షి అడిపించుముర పావనమౌని జన్మ చీయకుమా వృధా పాపాయనుచు 14 సార్ల ప్రతిదినము పాపాయనుచు 14 సార్ల ప్రతిదినము నిర్మల చిత్తుడవై ప్రభు నామం సంస్మరించుచుండు నిర్మల చిత్తుడవై ప్రభు నామం సంస్మరించుచుండు జీజీలు జగదీశ్వరునకు జీజీలు అంజని మోచి అడిపించుముర పావనమౌని జన్మ చీయకుమా వృధా
Baba ki jai. This song was sung before Baba also. Do not waste your life. This life is worth realization, worth reaching your goal. So only surrender to at the feet of your beloved, and don't lose the opportunity and waste this life. That is the song. This was Telugu song. It was even sung before Baba also. Jai Baba. So Manonash, we have completed before starting Andhra tour anecdotes and stories. I will read out the message about Manonash which Baba has dictated after lighting Dhuni in Meherazad. So, when the mind with its satellites, that is, desires, cravings, longings, is completely consumed by the fire of divine love, then the infinite, indestructible, indivisible, eternal self is manifested. So why he has taken upon himself the Manonash annihilation of mind is, Baba says, unless this is the mind with its satellites, desires, cravings, longings is completely consumed by the fire of divine love, which is personification of Meher Baba himself, the fire of divine love. So with that, then the infinite, indestructible, indivisible, eternal self is manifested. This is the Manonash, the annihilation of the false, limited, miserable, ignorant, destructible I, to be replaced by the real I, the eternal possessor of infinite knowledge, love, power, peace, bliss, and glory in its unchangeable existence. So here Baba said, only mind is annihilated, but not the ego. Ego is only changed. The finite false ego is changed as the real ego. For that purpose, mind has to be totally annihilated, and that is the work Baba did in seclusion for 8 days and also continued till 31st January 1952 in Meherazad. So Baba says, Manonash, which is bound to result in the glorious state when plurality goes and unity comes, ignorance goes and knowledge comes, binding goes and freedom comes. So this is the Manonash which Baba wanted and which is bound to result, Baba says, because he has done, and on 24th he sent a message to Mehra that his work has been completed successfully, 100% to his satisfaction. So we don't know when, how, but it will happen in the world, because with reference to that Second World War, connected to his mast work also, Baba gave that thing that his primary thing was raising the consciousness of the whole world and turning the minds of all towards God. That was his work, and for that he has suffered so much for us. And he stood in the front as an aspirant, and because he means the entire world, he means the total humanity now living and existing in this world. So it is for all. Baba said, for those who are connected with me and also those who are not connected, for all he, because he comes for the entire creation, his work and its result will be a boon for the entire human race and the creation. Avatar Meher Baba ki jai. So in 1953 and 1954, twice Baba came to Andhra, and as his trips to Hyderabad were different. It was for his universal work. But in Andhra, because he said already, I am freeing me from all the rituals, ceremonies, everything. He said that he was relieving. Now I free myself from external religious ceremonies, everything. That means the role of aspirant, the role of sadhaka, he has freed himself from that role. And here, as the highest of the high, the ancient one, the God in human form, with his love, with his full force of love, he gave darshans in Nagpur and in Hamirpur area, and also in Andhra. Baba said, Hamirpur is my heart and Andhra is my head. Truly, he went to Hamirpur before on these two occasions also. In 1952, Baba went to Hamirpur and he went to remotest place, smallest village, and gave darshan. Here also in Andhra, first time in 1953 and second time in 1954, for 13 days. It was a extensive tour, and thousands having Baba's darshan and receiving prasad through his hands. It was a wonderful thing, and his game and his leela on this planet Earth. So in 1953 also Baba came for 13 days, and 1954 I will, because that was more extensive. Baba went to more places and gave more darshan programs in 1954. Baba started on 19th from Pune. He came from Mahabaleshwar and then he started for Pune. And on that day itself, K.K. Ramakrishnan had first seen Baba in the railway station. So Baba, along with his mandali and people, started from Pune, and at every station, people were waiting for his darshan. In Kurudwadi Junction, next, that belonging to Balnatu, many people were there on the platform waiting for Baba's darshan. And Baba got down from the train. He sat on a tea counter in order to be visible for all. And many people in hundreds came and had Baba's darshan during that little period during which train stopped there. And at every station, when this scene was being enacted, the station masters and they also, the train actually used to stop for 2 minutes or 5 minutes, but they used to stop it for 10 minutes in order that people have Baba's darshan. And then next to Sholapur also, there were many people. And the Baba lovers and volunteers, they came and said, Baba, many people are waiting outside the station. Then Baba got down the train, went out and stood there and then greeted all and then touched the prasad. And then he reached Vijayawada. That was the first point in Andhra where from Baba's tour started. And in Vijayawada, a grand reception, a big procession, Baba was taken to his residence. Baba stayed in a house, of Mr. Majeti Ram Mohan Rao. He accommodated Baba in his own house. And actually, on the way to his house, his cloth shop was also there. He requested the workers that he wants that Baba should also step into his shop. But they said, no, let us not make it. If you ask, somebody else will also ask. And it was really dropped. But Baba himself, after seeing, he asked, whose shop is that? Then he said, Majeti Ram Mohan Rao, in whose house you are going to stay. Then Baba himself stopped the car, got down and went into the shop and blessed the host. And the host, he prepared a packet of clothes for Baba's coat, everything, that he was able to give it to Baba. And then he went to his residence. And next morning, the first tour was to Guntur. That was 21st February 1954. Baba, along with Mandari, started at 7 o'clock. And then they all went to Guntur. And in Guntur, I had an opportunity to work as Deputy Commissioner of Sales Tax for 2 years, 2001 to 2003. I worked there. And during that period, the local Baba lovers also became very active. And later we took up the renovation of that center also. That center, Guntur center, is an old center. The founder was Mr. Ramakrishnaiah. In 1964, he went to Pune and had Baba's darshan. And he requested Baba, I am opening a center in Guntur. I want a picture so that we put it in Baba's center. So Baba himself gave the picture, touched it, and then said, it is not photo, it is I who am coming with you. Then what happened in the train, he was going and the ticket collector came and said, oh sir, you booked 2 buses, but you are alone. Somebody is asking, that was first class berth, he booked 2 buses. And ticket collector said, one is vacant, no? Why don't you give me some? There are many persons who are asking me. Then he said, shh, don't disturb. Do you think that this is vacant? Baba is sleeping. He brought that photo in a pipe and he laid, as he prepared his berth, he laid a bed sheet, he laid that photo and then put a pillow and then another sheet and said, because Baba said, I am coming with you, this is not photo. Then the ticket collector said, ye pagal ho gaye. He thought that he might be mad. Then he took like that. And when he reached Guntur, Baba's photo was taken in a procession. So that is the place, Guntur. Baba went, his first thing was Guntur. They arranged in a municipal hall. There was an open park. In the park, they put Shamyanas, a big darshan, 7,000 people came. And there, the MP was there, Madhi Sudarshanam. He was MP, Member of Parliament. And he was the host there. First, Baba went to his house to have tea and snack, and then to darshan. In his house, Baba went there. He took him to his puja room, everything. And observing him alone, Baba said, what is this? You are alone. Where is your wife? Then he said, Baba, she is in monthly menses period. So she is not supposed to enter into the house. Baba said, who said that? I am the ocean. I not only accept fragrance, coconuts and flowers, but I accept dirt also. And no amount of dirt makes me polluted. And I will not become dirty. Call her. So immediately Baba called her, embraced her, and said, "No, you need not be out. How can it be?" So it happened in the Nana Khair's house also in Nagpur. Such an incident occurred. So then Baba had snacks, went, had the darshan program, gave messages, and then a small boy, he came running to Baba and he started dancing. When people wanted to stop him, Baba said, "He is the only person who is on the path. All others are, I see, but he is the person who is on the path. I like him." So Baba took him, and throughout Guntur program, he kept that boy with him. Even in Madhya Sudarshanam's bedroom, Baba took this boy with him. And after that, he arranged Madhya Sudarshanam lunch for Baba in silver plate with silver glass, silver katori, and all those things he arranged. But Baba went round, what is happening here? Many people came, they were being given food, and they were sitting on the ground under these trees and then eating. Baba went, and there was a big tree, and Baba sat under the tree and said, "I am also hungry, bring it." Then somebody in a leaf, as they were serving all, in a leaf they brought the food and kept before Baba. Baba mixed it and then had Srinivas. And then Madhusudan, "Oh Baba, I have arranged inside in a table with the silver plate, silver glass." And Baba said, "Over, my lunch is over." So, but even then he went inside, sat there, and then they returned in the evening to Vijayawada. Vijayawada, there was a program, darshan program arranged. Now it is a big cultural hall, function hall, Kalakshetram it is called. But then it was an open place. They put many shamyanas, and already 10,000 people were there waiting for Baba's darshan. While coming from Guntur to Vijayawada, in between, near Vijayawada, the river Krishna flows there. Now there is a barrage, but at that time that was the construction started. It was not complete. So Baba stopped his car, got down, dipped his feet and feet in that water flow. And by then the volunteers came, "Baba, it is late, already people are waiting. You are already late." And then they came, and Baba said, "I'm not coming directly to the darshan program place. I am going to my host to have my tea." Then Baba went straight and walked into the kitchen and asked that host's wife, "Where is my tea?" She said, "Baba, it is ready. I will send. You go up." Baba was on the first floor. Baba went up, and then tea was taken to him by the son of the host. And then Baba started for the darshan. And at that time, Baba gave instructions that nobody should touch Baba's feet. And shouting was also, Baba did not like, but shouting was going on. And there in Vijayawada, what happened in Guntur, people said to the mandali people was organizing queues, and they were there around Baba. The local people said, "No, why do you take trouble? We are there, many volunteers, local volunteers are there. We will manage." And in Vijayawada, local volunteers were there, and mandali people were all around the stage with Baba. So what happened after an hour of darshan? People came in such a rush that it appeared that as if they were going onto the dais and trampling all those people there, including Baba. So then Baba stopped, and he stood and waved a hand and then said, in spite of Baba's instruction, Babaji used to say during his Andhra tour, we learned that Telugu words, "Baba Padamulu Takavaddu," and they used to shout on microphone. They used to instruct people, but in spite of that, people were touching Baba's feet, raising Avatar Meher Baba Ki Jai, shouting. And more than that, the stampede started. And Baba got up and went to his car. Then the local volunteers, they felt it bad, and then they came along with him. He came to his residence. And when they came, Baba said, the program was very nice. I am satisfied. I am happy with the program, because Baba touched the prasad and asked the volunteers to distribute. So Baba came back, and then his food was, Baba's food was kept before him. At that time, there was another place where in Vijayawada the lovers used to meet, and that was called the center, local center. Later it was shifted to this Majeti Ram Mohan Rao's house where Baba stayed. But before that it was at other place, and there 1,000 people were waiting. And the main volunteer, he forgot to tell about that. And Baba was not informed. And so Baba retired, and then Baba was about to have his dinner. And then he reached, at that time he came on some work downstairs. Pendu also was coming. Then the people came from there and said, when you are bringing Baba, that main, that secretary of that center, he was Manikyal Rao. He then remembered at the 11th hour that he forgot to tell about this program, and 1,000 people are waiting for more than 4 hours. They are there waiting. Then Pendu, when Pendu came, he asked Pendu, this has happened, what should I do? Then he said, Baba is alone, up, go. Then he went up, and when he went up, Baba was mixing rice and dal to have his dinner. So when he saw Manikyal Rao, he said, come on, come on. He asked him to come, but he was hesitating. He was stepping back when Baba was asking him to come. And that Manikyal Rao himself told once that at that moment of anxiety and tension, he gets a thought in his mind whether Baba has teeth. Teeth. Baba teeth, he was not having teeth, but he had that doubt. Because about teeth also there is a good instance, and Baba got the teeth dentures prepared with a doctor called Varucha, and it was the deal was for 600 rupees. Papa Jassawala went, and that was substandard. The doctor did not maintain the standard, and it was not as he told. Then he said, it is not of that standard. How can I give? I will not give you 600. I will give you only 400. Then he gave 400, came back. Baba asked, said, Baba, he has not maintained that standard, so I gave him only 600. For 600, I will give him only 400. Baba said, no, go and return this 200 to him and convey my thanks to him. This will be a lesson to him. This will be a lesson, not going back on our, because he went back on his word, on his promise, but we should not. So then he sent back Papa, and the 200 was given to him, and he became ashamed. He felt ashamed. And then perhaps he might have remembered Baba throughout his life. So then this Manikyal Rao got that doubt. So when Baba, he was not going to Baba, Baba himself, he having that food, rice and dal in his hand, Baba stood up and came to this man and asked him, because Baba was silent, how can he ask him to open his mouth? Baba himself did that. Then he saw Baba had no teeth. So Baba was both, he was omniscient, and also he answered his question, and he took his hand and put that rice and dal into his mouth. He fed that person, and then said, now tell me what. Baba washed his hand. Baba's eating dinner or lunch, all was like that. But when he fed that man, his belly was full. like in that MP's house, he sat under a tree, just have something, seeing all having their food. His belly was full. So then he asked, what is the matter? Why did you come up? And he said, Baba, I forgot. 1,000 people are waiting there. So we have to go and that darshan. Then he said, okay. Meanwhile, Irich came. And Irich started shouting at this man, don't you allow Baba to eat his food and disturb him like this? Then Baba said, don't, stop. I am asking him. So then Baba said, yes, okay, I will come, but on 4 conditions. Baba said, they should not touch my feet. They should not offer garlands to me. They should not shout Avatar Meher Baba ki jai. They should not bring and give me any sweet or anything. So 4 instructions. He said, okay, Baba, I will instruct them accordingly. If after I get down and reach that place, if anybody shout Avatar Meher Baba ki jai, I will return back. I will not give darshan. He said, okay. Then Baba asked that person only to bring his coat and help Baba to wear it. And he helped Baba to wear that coat. And then Baba said, oh, it's okay, but how will we go? Because everyone got there, bus went away, car, because he was an engineer. He was driving Baba. He also went to his resting place. So how will we go? Baba said, there is a jeep, Baba. This man said, there is a jeep, we will go in a jeep. So Baba got down and getting into the jeep, Baba said, if we all go at the same time, how can you stop them and how can you instruct, as I told, not to shout and keep silent and all these things, how can you enforce there? Then he said, Baba, you be seated in the jeep. I will get down. I will go and announce in the mic and then we will take you. Then he said, no. He asked the driver, take a round. He will go and he will do what he will announce on the microphone and take me around a longer way. And then we will reach by the time he finishes his announcement on microphone about my instructions. So Baba took a round and this man got down and went there and on microphone he said, this is Baba's wish. And Baba instructed like this, if you make any noise, if you shout Avatar Meher Baba ki jai, Baba will go away and you will not have his darshan. Then everybody received those instructions. And when Baba came and he went on to the dais, there was pin drop silence. Baba was pleased. Baba said, yes, now I am pleased. So Baba said, because I am pleased, now I allow, now say Avatar Meher Baba ki jai. And now I also allow you to garland me and to offer me sweets. So how merciful he is. How so everybody, then they all shouted Avatar Meher Baba ki jai. They came in line. They had Baba's darshan, garlanded him, offered him fruits, and then that darshan went on for 2 hours. And then Baba came back and had very late. And next day, Baba went to Machilipatnam and their center. So,
so Ramakrishna ji, if you think you're tired, I'm sure it's been a long talk. We can pause. I mean, please let me know what you think.
Machilipatnam, with Machilipatnam, I will stop.
Yeah, okay. Great.
Machilipatnam, in the morning of 22nd, Baba went to Machilipatnam. That is the place of Meher Chandanori, maternal uncle, and his mother's native place, Machilipatnam. Now there is a good center there, active center. Baba went on 22nd. While going on the way, a place called Vuyur, some mela was going on, some fair of a deity was going on there. Many people were gathered, thousands. So Baba saw that and stopped the car, and he asked, what is going on here? It's a fair going on, Baba. Baba got down, and there was for children many play items, a merry-go-round with some horses and these camels or some these things. They will be there. They rotate, and generally children sit and enjoy that ride. So Baba went and sat on one of that. He had 3 rounds in that because Baba becomes a child among children. He becomes what he in the group, whatever group he is there, he becomes one with them. So that and from there he waved hands and then greeted the people there and went to Machilipatnam. Morning he went there. He was accommodated in a house, and then Baba had tea, snacks, and then he went to the house of Sitaram Shastri, Mallal Sitaram Shastri, the maternal uncle of Meher Nori, and native place of his mother Sita Devi, Nori Sita Devi. She was also very ardent lover and participated in Jubilee Hills construction and all important, and birthdays also. In early days, we used to have programs and also feeding, poor feeding programs in their house. So there Baba went to his house, and on that day Baba waved this arti, performed arti, bowed down his own photo and inaugurated the center, Machilipatnam Center, in the house of Sitaram Shastri. Then in town hall, there was a public program. Baba went there. About 4,000 to 5,000 people gathered there and had Baba's darshan. Then Baba, after lunch, Baba's house visits program was also there. Baba went round. And there was one Baba lover named Naidu. He was not well. He was bedridden. And Baba went to his house. When he got down in front of that house, his daughter brought a big garland. And Baba joked because Baba had already garlands. Baba said, I have already 1 ton weight of garlands on around my neck. Do you want to put one more garland? Then suddenly Baba changed. Instead of going into that house, he went to the nearby place where some huts were there. That some Harijans and so poor people, they used to reside in huts, and there were about 10 huts. And last time when we went for Andhra tour, that hut was still like that. That means 1954, and after a period of 60 years also, we found that hut where Baba went. He went there, and there was the hut owner. He was sitting on a small cart, and Baba went unaware and sat on the ground in front of the hut. And then people came to know what happened, because behind Baba, all these local people and volunteers, everybody came. There was a big rush. So then the hut dwellers, they saw that man. His name was Bantumilli Lakshmudu. He was a mason, but belonging to some low caste. So in those days, this caste system was prevalent in all these areas. So they didn't dare to go and have darshan along with the upper class people in town hall. So this man was worried. Oh, even for God, people say that he is God in human form, and we can't go and have his darshan. He was worried, and then sitting in the hut. So all of a sudden, Baba went there, and what fortune, how fortunate he must be that his love and his anxiety drew the Lord to his own hut. Baba was to go to some house for a house visit, but unexpectedly he went there. And that shows that with Baba, there is no, all are equal. Baba says, I am in the sinner and saint. I am in the rich and poor. I am in the man and woman. Each and every one, I am there. So for darshan programs also, Baba used to explain this and do that practically. In darshan programs throughout Andhra, Baba, after going to sit on dais, he used to come down, bow down to the people, because ladies on one side, gents on one side, they used to be asked to sit. So Baba used to sit this side and that side, and he used to say, now I am bowing down to you to save you from the difficulty of bowing down to me. And I am not bowing down as man to man, I am bowing down as God to God, Baba used to say. So because he sees himself, Baba said, you and I are not we but one. So that here in Machilipatnam, this incident made them to understand that Baba is not only omniscient, but he is all merciful, and all are similar for him, all are equal in his view. So then he went to that house. Naidu was there, laying. Baba sat by his side. He pressed his legs and said, don't worry, I am here. Take my name. And then from there, Baba, in the night after dinner, they proceeded to Eluru. Eluru is the place where Baba stayed for 5 days, the longest stay there. And he went to 70 houses in Eluru. So before reaching Eluru, 2 more incidents occurred that I will say and then stop it. So when he was going at a place, a rough road was joining the main road. At that junction, Baba asked the driver, he was Dharmarao Naidu. He was driving, he was an executive engineer in Public Works Department. He was driving Baba. Baba said, as you drove me, I will also take you through this, as Baba told E-Rich at Vengurla, that I will draw you one day from the mud of this illusion. He made the same assurance to Dharmarao Naidu also. So he stopped the car, and Dhanpatrao Naidu was there, E-Rich was there. Then they didn't understand why is stopping. Baba opened the front door of the car. He stretched his legs, and he was relaxing. So they didn't understand why Baba stopped the car. So there was a village at a distance of few kilometers, a small village. And there was one person in that village who was longing for Baba's darshan. He wanted to go to the town hall in Machilipatnam to have Baba's darshan, but what happened, his advocate, his counsel, he telephoned from the court that there was a case which he was to attend. And he said, no, today is the case, you must come. If you don't come, perhaps the case may be struck down. Then he had to go to the court. And his mind and heart were here. I am not able to have Baba's darshan. Then by the time he returned to his village, it was evening. And then he said, he spoke to one of the volunteers in Machilipatnam, and he came to know that Baba would be passing this way at around 8. So what he did, that was a dark night. He took lanterns and then started to go and stand at the junction so that at least he can see Baba moving in the car. Even though he cannot take darshan, he can just see Baba going in the car. So people in the village, they laughed at him. How do you know? How do they know you? How do they stop? Or even otherwise, Baba may go first. You may reach the place later. Why are you going? Then some people followed him, even though some were laughing at him. he came and Baba was waiting. When these people came, Baba waited for about 10 minutes or so. Then they reached that place, and with a lantern in his hand, that man questions Baba, has Baba passed through this way? He's asking Baba. Baba showed backside. Backside, Dhanpati Rao Naidu was sitting, the Andhra Center's president. He was sitting there. So when he showed back, that man went, because he was asking in Telugu also. Then Dhanpati Rao Naidu said, "Hare Baba, Baba is in front. You are asking only Baba about Baba." Oh, then he went to the and Baba then put his hands down because he was stretching, and he put his legs down, and they all took his darshan. And when they took his darshan and went away, Baba said, "Now, come on." And then they reached a place, and Baba said, "I am thirsty. I want soda." Then people said, "This village, there are small shops, you will not be getting. At the junction, main road on Vijayawada Eluru road, there is a Hanuman Junction called that is there. Guriwada Junction, Hanuman Junction. So there is a big shop, Durga Cool Drinks. You can stop and have that there." Then Baba proceeded there. When Baba's car stopped, Irich went there, asked for soda, and then took a glass for Baba to drink. And he was washing it thoroughly. Then that shopkeeper said, "Why are you washing that? For whom you are taking?" He said, "Meher Baba, for Meher Baba I am taking." "Meher Baba? Oh, Meher Baba, yes, he is going to Eluru." Then the shop owner came, had Baba's darshan, and seeing him, Baba got down and asked Iruch to call all the mandali and all those who are in the bus to come and have cool drinks. And he very happily and willingly opened all the bottles and served all. Baba was very happy with him. And then Baba offered money. And he said, "No, Baba, let me have this opportunity. I am fortunate." Then he said, "Okay, then take this as my prasad." Then he accepted, and perhaps people used to say that he became both materially and spiritually rich. So that, of course, similar to that, there was an incident. Baba was returning from Haridwar, and he was to change his train in between. On that platform, since 2 days, Baba and Mandali, they didn't have anything. They journeyed because in those days only passenger trains were there. Mails were not there. So when Baba saw there, it was about 4 in the morning, and one fruit stall was opened, and the owner was praying, offering prayer to a photo there, and the boy was there with him, and he was keeping all the fruits ready. Baba said, "Go and bring." There were 6 members. Baba said, "Bring 6 oranges. Then we will have at least that much before taking the another train." So another train was also there on platform. They sat in that. Irich went there. When he asked, the boy said, 6 annas, 6 oranges. Then he said, no, we are taking 6, give it for 5 annas. And Irish bargained and gave 5 annas and brought 6 fruits. And one fruit was he took to wash for Baba, and Baba distributed it to all. And when Irish was washing and coming back to Baba, that owner came, and when washing, Irish observed that man was praying before the photo of Meher Baba. That was the photo of Meher Baba where he was praying. And when Iruch came back, that man also came back and asked Iruch, "You have deceived my boy. There is no bargain in my shop. It is a fixed rate. you either give one anna or give back the fruits. Baba asked Irish to bargain further and to convince him that we have already, it's already over. The deal is already over. So he did not hear. He said no. Then Baba said, give him back. Baba collected back the fruits and they were returned back, and Irish went and returned those fruits back, and Irish comes back and says, Baba, he was praying only before your photo. Shall I inform him that the fruits were for you? Baba said, no. His part is only to pray before my photo. So you see, there Baba offered, and the cool drink shop owner, he said, no, I don't want any money, Baba. He served for so many people, all the mandali people. And then he was reluctant to take money and said, Baba, allow me this opportunity to serve you. But here, the man praying before his photo, he got back the fruits from Baba and his mandali. And Baba says, his fate is only that much, to pray in front of my photo, not to have my darshan. That means Baba did not say that, but it was. So that was the thing, that up to only Eluru, this Baba's program, and it went on. This was the 22nd night, and it went on up to 3rd March. And so many stories, so many things are there. So if opportunity, let us have some more someday other. Jai Baba sir.
Jai Baba, Ramakrishnaiah. What a beautiful talk there, that one. So many stories and so many Baba's messages, and you're really blessed, and we are blessed to listen to
I am blessed.
all Baba stories through you.
I am blessed to remember my beloved once again.
We know that Baba has spoken through you, so thank you so much. And there is one question which somebody had. Her name is Elizabeth. She had a question, and the question is about marbles and their playing with marbles.
Now
and connection
we are coming.
with
Now we are coming. We have reached that place, Eluru, called Eluru. Baba stayed in a garden, Katta Subbarao Tota, and in his farmhouse, Baba stayed. And in the morning, Baba asked all the mandali people also, Baba called, and then he played marbles there. And he said that this is my age-old habit. I play with the planets and stars, like I play with the marbles. That was in Eluru. Baba played marbles and also told that he's a play with the marbles. This is not the real marble play that he play. He plays with the planets and stars in the universe.
Wow. Jai Baba. That's a question Elizabeth had. And I don't see anybody else raising hands, but people, here Meherchand Nori has a question. Meherchand Nori, please unmute yourself.
No question, just want to tell Ramakrishnaiah Anagaru, you just tell that the replicas which made it Menonash, they are now at the museum.
Okay.
Of Meherazad. That I want you just tell them. And second thing also at Baba celebrated in 1954 2 birthdays. Yes. One as per the Zoroastrian calendar on 10th February at Meherabad, and 60th birthday at Tadepalligudam.
Okay.
Just only for just reminder, you just tell them.
Okay. I told during that Manonash program, Baba got these models of 5 religious symbols, and he kept them in the cave. And as Irich once told, he used to change their places. And these models, which Baba used during Manonash work in Hyderabad, later in Meherazad, they are in the museum, Meherabad museum, in the cupboard, kept. These 5 models are there, still there. And these Baba's working, because on 31st also Baba said rituals and ceremonies he is burning in the dhuni. So likewise, these 5 symbols and asking his people to pray at 5 important places of all religions at a time. It denotes that he was doing away with the rituals and ceremonies and his work with these models. As Baba said, I have come not to establish any new religion or cult, but to bring all the religions as beads on one string. Baba, perhaps that was the work Baba did. And with that, not only rites, rituals, and ceremonies are going to be out, but even all religions, those who follow all religions, they will be brought one. The universal, Baba said, the universal brotherhood will not be of, only of talk and promises, but it will be an accomplished fact, Baba said after that. Okay. And he said, during this Andhra tour, Baba's birthday was celebrated on 25th February 1954 in Dhanpati Rao's house in Tadepalli, Gudem. But also as per Zoroastrian calendar, it was on 10th February when Baba was in Maheva. On that night also, Baba made all to sit, waking up, and Baba served coffee to all, and then at 12:50, he shown on his alphabet board, Avatar Meher Baba Ki Jai, and raised his hand. So these two incidents Meher Chand wanted to tell. Okay, Jai Baba.
Jai Baba, thanks, sir. I mean, it's amazing how much you can remember without even looking into a piece of paper. So thank you so much.
Jai Baba Prakash, can I say a few words?
Sure, go ahead.
Jai Baba Ramakrishna Ji.
Jai Baba, Jai Baba.
Farishta from Myrtle Beach, and I wanted to say amazing talk. Really, you brought Baba in India to us so live and so present. Yes. I cannot imagine. It really brought Baba to us as if we are walking with you and Baba and all those darshans, and it felt very real. And I really, truly appreciate from my heart what you brought today. Prakash, thank you so much for inviting him.
Thank you.
And I hope that please, huh?
And now after hearing you, I am getting tears.
Oh my God, I was in tears with your speech. With your talk was just incredible. When you were speaking, I was seeing the whole scene with Baba. So thank you. And please come back. Please come back and continue your stories. We are eager. We hear so much, the Western stories, but these touching, real, direct Indian stories are very precious. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Jai Baba, Jai Baba.
Jai Baba.
Jai Baba.
Yeah.
Jai Baba. Jai Baba.
Jai Baba, ma'am.
Jai Baba Ramchandra.
Jai Baba, Jai Baba.
Jai Baba Ramchandra. Manya just. Jai Baba. Jai Baba Andy. Thank you. ఏలూరు కట్టా సుబ్బారావు అట్లా చిన్నప్పుడు వెళ్ళేవాళ్ళం రెగ్యులర్ గా ఫాదర్ కృష్ణమూర్తి గారు. అదే చాలా థ్యాంక్స్ అండి. చాలా రేఖ మా చైల్డ్హుడ్ అంతా నాకు అసలు మెమరీ ఎంతను బాబా ఇన్సిడెంట్స్ అంతా ఆంధ్ర టూర్. ఇట్ ఇస్ రియల్లీ ఓవర్వెల్మింగ్. అంతా చాలా బాగుంది. నైస్ టు సీ మెహర్ ప్రీతిని మీ మాన్యాని అందరినీ కూడా. మెహర్ ప్రీతి కూడా చెప్పండి. ఓకే, హైదరాబాద్.
జై బాబా అండి.
జై బాబా అమ్మ. జై బాబా. Nice to see you. Thank you.
So Ramakrishnaiah, there are lots of people here on the chat box thanking you for such beautiful talk. And you all can just unmute yourselves and talk freely with Ramakrishna ji one by one if you can. Thank you. Jai Baba.
Prakash, one more thing. He also led the team of a group in 2016 or 17 to all the people to the Myrtle Beach. He introduced most of the Indian people from Andhra, Bombay and all. And again in 2018, he took them to the Europe trip. So that way he's connected to Myrtle Beach also. He often comes to States to his daughter's place. And he's now he's in the 3 capacity he has come. Triple capacity. One as the president of Andhra, and second as the president of Jubilee Hills Center and Jubilee Hills, and third, above all, one of the, I can say, one of the staunch Baba lover and representing entire India to Middle Beach.
Yeah.
Annagaru Jai Meher Baba. I call him Annagaru because my mother calls him him as the eldest son.
Okay, Jai Baba, Jai Baba.
Jai Baba.
Jai Baba, Jai Baba.
Jai
So
Baba,
please.
Ramakrishnaiah ji,
Jai Baba ji.
I would like to add,
Oh, Jai Baba.
I would like to add, in 1945 April, Baba sent the telegram to my father, calling him at Hyderabad with a preparation to school for 2 months. And then he went there. Then Baba asked him to go all over India for 2 years begging and without touching money. And asked him, you decide and tell me tomorrow. So my father was a little hesitant. He could not dare to, he said, he could not dare to take that decision to go on begging all over India and without touching money. So then Baba said, okay, now you stay for 2 days only and go back and start your family life. So he gave him permission to get married. And coincidentally, when I got my posting through UPSC, my first posting was Hyderabad. And my family life was there for 9 years. So from 89 till 97, I was at Hyderabad working in an important defense project. And then
we came to your house also.
Yeah, I invited all Baba lovers to my house also.
Yes.
And so
MDG Shastri, Prakash Rao, grandfather of
Prakash Rao.
and we came. I remember.
Oh, I'm glad you remember that. Okay. Thank you, Jai Baba.
Okay, Jai Baba, Jai Baba.
Manya, we want to really thank you.
Yeah. I came to Dubai.
Thank you so much, Manya.
Jai Baba.
You sang so beautifully.
Jai Baba from Dubai.
Jai Baba, Jai Baba.
Jai Baba.
Gopi here.
Nice singing, Manya.
Hey, Ben, you want to say something? Ben?
Jai Baba, thank you.
Jai Baba.
Thank you for sharing, little one. We love to hear your song.
And you guys are talking about how you have.
Oh, Jai Baba.
Manya,
Jai Baba. You are there with us.
Manya, you sang beautifully today. And everybody's talking about how they have Ramakrishnaiah here and wherever. He's here in Colorado with us. So.
Okay,
Very nice. Jai Baba.
Jai Baba, Jai Baba, Jai Baba.
Jai Baba, Uncle Gopi here. Jai Baba.
Gopi, Jai Baba.
Jai Baba, very happy to hear from you.
Anta Prakash.
No.
Yes.
Like you say, I mean, let's Baba do everything. So he does it all.
Of course, we as not we, but instruments of his
Right.
in his hand.
Yep. So, thank you so much once again. And I think you have so many such stories right here. I mean, and it's so beautiful. Okay. And
Nice songs, Preeti, Jai Baba.
Thank you.
I'm sure everybody wants you back. We'll pick a date and then we'll go from there. Okay. Anybody else who wants to say anything, please go ahead at this time.
Jai Baba Ramakrishnaiah garu.
Jai Baba Amma.
నేను వాణి అంటారండి. చాలా తెలియని విషయాలు చాలా చెప్పారు. చాలా థాంక్స్ అండి జై బాబా.
జై బాబా, జై బాబా.
జై బాబా.
Jai Baba, Jai Baba.
Jai Baba, Jai Baba.
Jai Baba, Jai Baba. Jai Baba, Jai Baba, Jai Baba. Yes, we really enjoyed it. It was very good, very interesting. Thank you. Really enjoyed. Jai Baba.
Okay, Jai Baba, Jai Baba.
Jai Baba.
Jai Baba.
Jai Baba.
Jai Baba.
So,
Thank you.
in about a couple
Jai
of
Baba.
minutes, another program is going to begin. So this is the last chance for anybody to say Jai Baba.
Okay, Jai Baba, thank you.
Ramakrishnaiah.
Jai Baba,
Thank
Jai
you.
Baba,
Jai
Jai
Baba,
Baba.
thank you. Thank you, Jai
Baba.
Baba.
I was
Thank you. Thank
I was
you.
I saw Jubilee Hills with
Thank
Alaba in
you, Baba.
1989. I hope you were there.
Jai Baba, Jai Baba.
Muchas
Jai Baba.
gracias.
Jai
Hasta
Much
luego.
love to you all.
Jai
Thank you
Baba.
so much
Jai
for
Baba.
bringing so much of the beloved's presence into our hearts. Thank you so much.
Yes,
Jai Baba.
very
So
touching.
Jai Baba.
So
Jai
great.
Baba.
Avatar Meher
Meher
Baba.
Baba ki jai.
Baba.
Avatar Meher
Meher Baba ki jai.
Ki Jai.
Avatar Meher
Avatar Meher Baba Ki Jai.
Jai.
Jai Baba.
I'd
Jai
like to
Meher
just
Baba.
add, I'd like
Have
to
a
just add
beautiful
one more
day,
time.
everybody.
Thank you for the opportunity and thank you
Yes,
for all your
thank you.
kind words.
Thank
May
you.
his
Jai Baba.
stay on
Jai
our
Meher Baba, Jai Meher Baba Marwadi, Jai Meher Baba, Jai Meher Baba.
Jai
Thanks,
Meher
Meher
Baba.
Priti.
Jai Meher
Meher
Baba,
Priti.
Meher
Thank
Chan.
you.
Jai
You're
Meher Baba,
excellent.
Vijay. Jai Meher
Yeah,
Baba.
thank you, Jai Baba. Good
Hey
night.
Vijay, I want to share only one thing. The place at
Uh-huh.
Machilipatnam, when Baba visited on 22nd, and
Yeah,
Baba
right.
seen me first because I was in Mummy's womb. I was
Oh,
exactly born 12 days after
oh,
Baba's visit. That's the reason I was
oh,
named
very good.
Meherabad. Farista, I
Oh,
am sharing to you also.
so you got the
And
blessing.
yeah, because I always boast, Baba seen me first rather than me seeing Baba.
Okay, very good. Yeah, it's seen you
Yeah.
lovely.
Jai
Baba.
Baba. Thanks,
Jai
Meher.
Meher Baba.
Jai Baba. Jai Meher
Thanks,
Baba.
Meher Priti, and thanks, Mani, and thanks, Ramakrishnaiah garu. Jai Baba.
Thank you.